An issue where you do have a disagreement is on the idea of supervised use sites or so-called safe injection sites. They've got a lot of different names. People know what they are. It's been brought up in the past. Leora Joseph, you oppose supervised use sites or so-called safe use sites. John Walsh, you've shown kind of an openness to it, which is interesting because Denver's mayor opposes them vehemently. The governor opposes them. Democrats at the state legislature don't have the votes to allow a municipality to spin them up if they wanted to, but you've suggested that we try a pilot program. I haven't heard you say what that would entail. What does that look like?
Well, so two things. First of all, I'm not in favor of safe injection sites as things currently stand. So let's just start right there. What I am in favor of is that we do further research. And I say that because in Denver last year, 550 people died of drug overdoses. It is a public health catastrophe. My approach is simply to say, all right, let's explore whether or not we can, in fact, do further research to see whether a safe injection site could be implemented that doesn't hurt the community, that doesn't enable drug use, that gets people moving towards treatment and have it happen. And I'll tell you this, the National Institutes of Health have taken exactly that approach. Last year, they issued a grant and they started funding it to do research on pilot projects in both Rhode Island and New York City. I'm not confident that that can be set up 100% here in Denver, but I think we should explore it. We have too many people dying.
Yeah, I want to be clear. When you say research, people think about, academics sitting around a table.
You've
talked about a pilot program. You're talking about
a
pilot program in Denver, and if you think that if it could be started here, you would be open to it.
It would, if it could be done safely, and that's the threshold that we have to do, that it's not going to harm the surrounding community and that we are careful about the way it's done. That's threshold for me.
What would be the harm in a pilot program?
Yeah, I worry about this topic a lot. We do have a real serious drug addiction and overdose death problem in Denver. Here's the issue. I think we need to do a lot of things differently. Naloxone has to be made available. Fentanyl strip testing needs to be made available. And I'd love to see Colorado and Denver in specific have more of a workforce based on peer coordinators, people with lived experience, helping people get into treatment. The goal has to be treatment. What I worry about is becoming a test city for legalization of hard drugs and having state supervised use of hard drugs and administering those. I don't think that that's safe. And I have not seen evidence that cities internationally in particular who've adopted that method have saved people and moved them into treatment.
You want a last word on this before we move on to some other things?
I just want to say something. I am not in favor of decriminalization of hard drugs. Let's just be very clear about that. That's part of the reason that I count me a skeptic on safe injection sites. But what we're doing now is not working. And everything that Leora said we need to be moving towards is actually happening now, and it's not enough. We need to be thinking broadly, and if we can set something up safely that shows a path forward, I'm in favor of that. That's the point, to figure it out and do what works.